Hi, I'm Kranti Sambo. Welcome to Overdrive and a new car in a segment which is not that happening these days, and we were not discussing that segment so much, but a new product, and it looks promising in the sense it comes with lots of changes. And to talk more about that, we have Vivek with us. Thank you so much, Vivek, for talking to us. First thing first, what are the changes we are looking at in the new Altroz, and the reasoning behind it? What were you thinking?
Substantial changes. It's come, I would say, slightly late. Altroz was launched 2020, and there have been powertrain changes, but this is the first big change. Firstly, the front fascia has changed completely, much more mature, more tech, a lot of LED lights. There are 8 lights actually in front, a wider look. The body side panels also have changed, much less creaser, more aerodynamic but cleaner. On the inside, obviously a lot of tech. We have digitized it. Again, this consumer across manufacturers have not been getting the right level of features as what was coming in SUVs. So we wanted to right size it. So the 10.25 inches infotainment as well as the cluster are big things. 360-degree camera. Of course, we have multiple powertrains as usual: petrol, diesel, CNG, 2 levels of automatic transmission, and we've gone for overall little bit of a premiumization uplift. Fit materials and comfort factor has been taken care. So we believe it's a very comprehensive change and the right product for this category.
Okay, and what was your thought process in the sense this segment, as we all discussed, that it's not that happening in the sense we're not talking about it. I mean, they are selling, but we're not talking about it so much. Exactly. So when you approach this change, what were your brief?
Yeah, so that's the whole thing. It's not happening because there's not enough launches in the category. But if you really look at the numbers, hatchbacks are still about 22% of a 4 million market, which is a big number, and we are talking about 70,000-80,000 sales of hatchbacks per month even now, out of which the premium hatch itself is 30,000-35,000 units. And there's a rapid premiumization happening within the hatchback category. The entry hatchbacks of yore have really gone down. In fact, the premium hatches have grown from about 10% to 30% in the category. First time buyers increasingly buying the premium hatches. 5 years back, Altroz was 40% first time buyers, now it is 70%. It is massive. So clearly consumer is saying that if I buy a hatchback, my first car will be a premium hatchback. So there are volumes, and like you said, it's not happening because I think manufacturers have not prioritized. We ourselves, we prioritize our SUVs over changes into the hatchback, and the primary objective what we have taken with the Altroz is to give feature package equal to SUVs, maybe even slightly more, give a very contemporary design and take care of the premium hatchback consumer.
So if we talk about the feedback from the customers, how do they react in the sense when we talk, when we see the segment, all of us are looking for, a higher seating position, more ground clearance, and then how do they see
Not
this
all,
segment?
obviously, there are still, like I said, more than 70,000-80,000 people in a month buying hatchbacks, 30,000-35,000 buying premium hatchback. Not everybody is looking for that. People are still prioritizing that ease of driving and also the aerodynamic shape of the hatchback. There are hatchback lovers. They have been sidelined a little bit, I would say, because of lack of attention. And we really believe with the right products, the hatchback segment might not come back, but it will at least stabilize at some level. Altroz has always been a strong nameplate in the premium hatch category, and we believe we can double our volumes with this product.
So you're saying, you anticipate growth in this segment?
Premium hatch would grow, but overall hatchbacks will kind of stagnate at around 20% is what we are looking at. But there will be premiumization in the mix within hatchbacks. The entry hatches will continue to go down. What's happened in the entry hatches actually, they've been most hit by the cost increases due to regulations, safety and emission regulations. So price value equations went way off. Right. And consumers said that if I'm paying so much, let me go for the best in the category. And that we are seeing. So while overall hatchbacks will remain around 20-22%, within that premium hatches are going to really become the majority of volume there.
So just to quantify, in the sense, like we keep hearing this premiumization or premium hatchback. So what are those elements which customers think that this should be, they consider it premium?
Primarily, it is the size, I would say. They want a larger car and the space inside. Then it is the, I think externally premiumization is the lights and the LED headlamps and, the DRL and all that are hugely valued. On the inside is the tech, the sunroof, screens and infotainment package, all that is hugely valued. And these are the same elements which are there in SUVs as well, So in terms of that aspect, consumers are not very different. It's just that these are people who still love the, the sleek form factor of a hatch. So far, we believe that even people who loved this were not getting all the features that they saw in SUV, so they used to go. So we think there will be a slightly reversal of the tide now, where the feature package is equal. People just have to choose on the design now.
Yeah. And you also have a new AMT in Altroz.
Like I said, there are a lot of first timers coming up, and many of them want a AMT. A lot of women also are preferring premium hatches. So giving that luxury of a two-pedal drive at an affordable price range really matters. Some of our competitors also gone the same way. So we have something for people who still want smoothness of a DCA, and also somebody who wants a two-pedal drive at a better price. So we're catering to both ends now. Yeah.
Okay, now 2-3 questions about the market, overall market scenario. So one thing you mentioned about the small SUVs. So how do you see the compact or subcompact SUV segment, or maybe micro SUV segment doing in?
It will continue to grow, future? I think, because it's got a lot of pan-India appeal. That when we do think that higher ground clearance is more suited for Indian roads. And as that segment also will kind of keep maturing, so there will be a lot of growth in that market for sure, especially in the smaller towns, rural markets. There will be a lot of growth for the micro SUV. Yeah.
And the electrification, how are you looking at it? Because we keep chatting about it at regular intervals. So it keeps
it's going up. But I think this year will be the year for electric, because with the number of competitors coming in, and I think a lot of the activity will ensure that consumers lose their traditional doubts about the category. Our estimate is last year it was about 100,000 market. It could easily double this year, just because of the competitor activities and so many models coming in. And there's a lot of work also happening on charging infrastructure, and belief in the category will go up dramatically. Yeah.
So other than the product, what are the elements you think is going to help electrification?
Charging infrastructure, more visible charging infrastructure. I think one of the big changes will be to get charging banks. Recently, we ourselves are committed to get into charging ourselves. Just a couple of weeks back, we'd opened out a series of charging banks between Mumbai and Delhi, So consumers want to see 4-5 banks, like a petrol bunk, they want to see 4-5 charging units, many cars being charged together. So there's a lot of confidence which comes, rather than the standalone chargers in some corner. So I think that will start coming up in a major way now. It will give a lot of confidence, and I think it is more a lack of confidence than lack of charging infra that is the reality. So that is the main thing. Otherwise, I think range is being democratized rapidly. Earlier, 200 kilometers was the kind of range people used to get. That is moving up very soon. We think 400 kilometers range, real world range, is the sweet spot. And more you will see products coming which start hitting that 400 kilometers range, which takes care of that occasional long drive. But in city, I think, you don't need that kind of range. So there'll be a little bit of right sizing happening, But if you look at top of the funnel, Kranti, and the kind of interest in EVs, it's really going up, Whether you take Google search data or visits to our websites, every year or every month, actually, the number of people inquiring about EV is going up. It's just that there's a lot of wait and watch happening. but I think that will slowly start.
But you've been the pioneer, and now you're feeling the pressure. I mean, as
I
well.
won't say pressure, I think it is good, for so long we were the only ones talking about EV. So now we can focus more on our own development than developing the market. I think it's a cycle. We will continue to be the leader. We'll have our own products coming in the future. In next 1 week, we're going to launch the Harrier EV, which will be our first big EV after a long time. So it's interesting. Yeah.
I always end our interactions with the question which are mostly unanswered. So when are we seeing the Sierra?
This financial year for sure.
Thank you so much. Good luck. Thank you.